Well, hello. Happy Thursday, guys. Coming to you with another video on the rock. And I'm in my home, not in the car, because I'm off today. Got a couple of days off, which means I'm bringing you a good, comprehensive video. So, we're going to talk today about this new reset, this globalist agenda of the Green Order, the Green New Deal that's taking over everything. This is the march of the New World Order under the guise of this green climate crisis. And it's an engine that keeps sucking in things like a black hole. Okay? We know what's going on in Sri Lanka. The Prime Minister and the President done skipped town. That was a Green New Deal right there that they implemented for Sri Lanka, it being a tourist resort. You know, let's protect the environment at the sake of everybody's job. Now, how does that make sense? Now you have no tourism. So Sri Lanka, they don't even have money pretty much in the whole country. People are starving to death right now because of a stupid idea that they wanted a Green New Deal. You know, what's the old saying? Cut off your nose to spite your face. It's even worse than that. It's cut off the head to save the body. Now, you tell me how that makes sense, okay? That's your first clue what's going on. All right? The biggest clue right now of what's going on, and I've talked about it in the past, I call it the game of whack-a-mole. Only we're the whack-a-mole that they're hitting us down. But in a sense, what I'm trying to explain is this. People in my generation, I'm almost 50, okay? The kids a little bit younger than me, they went to Chuck E. Cheese. They loved it. And it had a game called whack-a-mole. And what this New World Order, this takeover of all of the world, how you know where they're planning things and the evidence of it is a whack-a-mole. You see the gas, $5 a gallon, whack-a-mole. Whack it down. We're having to suffer through this. You see what's going on in Sri Lanka, the mole, whack-a-mole. You see what's going on in Holland. Look what's going on in Holland, how they're treating the farmers as criminals, the same way they did in Canada. Do you see the correlation between the two? You step out of line, we're going to knock you in the head because you're not doing what we want you to do. That is, you're going to have it our way. You're not going to have it anyway. That is the whole idea of this takeover of our world, guys. If you don't believe me, just turn on, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the mainstream news that's finally showing these things. Okay? I'm going to show you something right. Hold on one second. I've got some evidence for you here. Just give me a second here, guys. Just give me a second here, people.
And in the Netherlands, farmers are staging nationwide protests after the government's decision to cut down on its emissions.
This right here.
Hydrogen oxide and ammonia.
Netherlands.
The decision has resulted to cause discomfort in the Netherlands' lucrative agriculture sector.
They're talking about cutting emissions by 70%.
And has set aside an extra
nitrogen.
$5.6 billion to make the necessary.
Look at this. This is what your globalist agenda is doing right here.
The target is unfeasible.
Look at this right here. Look what you're seeing right there. Little guys like me and you. See that?
Just outside the home of Minister A.
They want us under thumb. They want to crush us underfoot. They're the ones that started this whole fertilizer deal. It was adopted by the Nazis, okay? Monsanto was a Nazi. That was a start, okay? It started with that. You know, they went to the farmers, especially the American farmers, and said, hey, if you want to grow more plants, more vegetables to feed your country and the world and to be a bigger power, use fertilizer, use these chemicals to have plumper tomatoes, soybeans. People don't even realize how big soybeans are. That's like one of the #1 crops. Corn. The industry of corn for livestock, it's huge. You know, this has been going on. You cannot farm without nitrogen, without the fertilizer. So what they do, they hook the farmers that you have to use this. So now what are they doing now? They're reversing their plan and saying no more fertilizers, especially in Holland. The Holland farmers weren't even making a good living to begin with. Their margins were so thin. You're taking like a 5% profit, and now you're putting them in the red like by 20%. How is that going to work? And this is all just another green agenda. Says that you're killing the planet. You're killing the planet. It's a bunch of hooey. You see what the scientist that says that climate change is man-made, you have just as many, if not more, that says that this is secular and that this has been going on for 10 to 20,000 years. Okay? The most greenhouse gases that kills the environment is out of the ass of a cow, methane. But they don't want to tell you that because they want their big fat steaks on their plate. But they won't tell you the truth of that. You know, it's little YouTubers like us that really got to watch what we say. And I pardon the ass comment. I'm a born-again Christian. I'm sorry, but I'm trying to get a point across here. Okay? I'm making a point. I'm not going to pussyfoot around nothing no more. People need to know what this globalist agenda is doing. It's going to swallow up the whole world. This whole thing is biblical. Biblical. And you see in the natural, but what are you seeing in the metaphysical going on right now? The Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. If you see the natural tugging and pulling of people fighting over this, what are you seeing in the unseen eye? You know, the Bible says from the last days were like the days of Noah when the flood came. And the Bible says that everybody's minds were set on to do nothing but pure evil. In the whole world. It had to have been done, or it would have been just a cesspool. So, guys, this globalist agenda, if we don't watch as patriots and rise up and say, no, this is not going to go on, and the land of the free and the home of the brave, it's going to sweep over America. It's already starting right now, in a sense, because they're paying farmers not to farm. You look what's going on by the diesel. Look at what the farmers have to pay to get out their crop. They're already saying that 40 to 60% of small little mom and pop semi places, you know, like trucking firms, 3 trucks or less, and that's like half of all our trucking firms, that they're going to go under. You know, one guy named Jim Jordan, he was in the Congress. He's a senator or a congressman. He held up the phone and he says, guys, my buddy has a semi and he paid $1,900 for 1 day of fuel. But yet your constituents say, get a Tesla. It will solve your problems because it's electric. And he said, ain't that a slap in the face for the guy that brings you milk and bread and stuff that you need in the store? And that's how these people think. They don't care. You know, boo-hoo, go get electric. That is what your elites, that's how they think. They don't care about us. People need to wake up what's going on. It's going to overtake this whole world if people do not stop and say, no, this is not going on. So, guys, all we can do is report, tell you what's going on. What you do with the information is up to you. Like we were at the beginning as a country. We decided to either go with England, or did we stand up and say, we are making a country of freedom, that we make